Hello, welcome back. My name is Holly-Beth and this is my little place where I get to talk about anything to do with crafts, mainly knitting and just generally what I get up to on a month-to-month basis. These videos in particular are the month-to-month basis videos. They are going to follow a sort of knitting podcast format, but not really, with project vlogs sprinkled throughout, knitting plans, etc. And then we do a month roundup of our yarn de-stash totals, which is a very important segment for us right now. It is, well, it's supposed to be the first, but it's actually the 2nd of July today, which means that I usually go through what my plans, my goals, my hopes are for the month coming up now, which is July. So I thought that we could sit down, we could go through what my plans and goals are. I hope that you enjoy this month of crafting. To also be very honest, I had a whole list planned out, so like a whole big list of things that I wanted to do this month. As of Monday, so today's Wednesday, as of Monday I had found out some pretty rubbish news, so it's gonna bring a massive change again to our life. So it means that I think I'm just gonna have to scrap a lot of the projects and ideas I had, and that's okay. I'll be able to pick them up again at some point in the future, but I think I just need to bring my goals down just a little bit as to what I can actually achieve. I don't mind talking about how I want them to be a goal and how I want to do it, but I just think that I know I'm not gonna probably get to it, so I think it's probably okay if I just scrap it. So this list might be a little bit shorter than previous months, but I think that's okay. So let's get into what I have to do. 2 things that specifically have a date, like a due date this month, is going to be 2 gifts. One is going to be a gift for my friend's daughter who is turning 2. She is just, she is both my friend and her little girl. They're just both amazing and I love them very much, and I want to make her something for her 2nd birthday that she can cherish and mum would love as well. There's that gift for her, and then the other deadline project is a cross stitch. Let's go through the first gift project and I'll go through the cross stitch and then I'll go through everything else that I'd like to get done. The first project is going to be one of these little guys in this book. It's actually the one on the front page. I didn't realise. I've been pulling the page open, I didn't even need to. It's on the front page. It's this little girl here. So in the book her name is Dorothy the mouse and she is very sweet. I'm doing different clothes for her though. I'm doing clothes that are from a different animal, which is totally fine. You can mix and match these clothes, but the clothes look a little bit like there's going to be like a pinafore, some brown and pink shoes possibly, and white French knickers. But yeah, I need to get this done. Her birthday is the 15th, meaning that I want to get these done and completed like before then. So far I have knit her head, I have knit both of her ears, and I've also knit her tail. These are things that are finished, so I did those in June. I am about halfway through the body, so that's how the body's looking so far. These are being knit with this yarn here, the stone wash, and this one is in the colour Crystal Quartz, yeah, and 814 is the colour number. And then also I have all of these yarns here for her clothes. So what I'll do is I'll go through these in depth as we get to yarn totals and things like that. They are very lovely shades, very sweet. There's 2 50-gram skeins and 2 10-gram skeins there. So I want to finish this mouse for sure. It has to be finished. It's a non-negotiable. I'm feeling kind of confident right now with that, but we'll see, because last time I got the duck done and then the clothes took me a year. So I want to finish all of those, and I'm also recording shorts at the same time for that, so it's a bit, preferably by the 13th, 14th would be nice. And then the cross stitch is a cross stitch kit. I plan to make something for their wedding anyway. In June we attended a wedding for my cousin. He's the same age as me, well, same school year but a year younger in regards to birth year, but we grew up in the same age. Yeah, he got married and they had such a lovely wedding. They both looked amazing. We had already got them another gift anyway, but I really wanted to make them something as well. It's just in my nature. And then there was this cross stitch kit. It's like a celebratory like kind of wine glass, but the flowers are literally the exact same as what his tie looked like that my cousin wore on his wedding day. So I thought, okay, that could be cute. I want to try and put their initials on here as well. And then I also got this frame for it to go in. I have a feeling there's not too many cross stitch colours, but there's a lot of line work and some French knots as well, which is fine. But I think that's going to be what takes the most time, but I think it's going to be okay. The colours, including some like shimmery ones, look at this. So I think it's going to be really pretty, although there isn't really a very strict deadline because the wedding's already been. I would like to have this to them by the end of the month, preferably. We usually go around to my nan's on Sundays. I've been doing that for years when both of my grandparents were in the house. When I had both my grandparents here. It's a tradition we all do. Some people turn up in the next week, but as a traditional thing, I've always tried to turn up every week. So I would like to give it to them on a Sunday where we go to the grandparents. And that'll probably be after they get back from their honeymoon, because I think they're away for 3 weeks. So it gives me a bit of time to make that. I'm really excited, and there will also probably be a whole video dedicated to this, because I have got a lot of cross-stitch projects going at the moment, and I'm currently doing like not a time-lapse, but like a picture time-lapse video kind of thing. I take pictures of all the progress each day, because I just think it's really cool to see cross-stitch evolving. I don't know if that's going to be a short or a long form yet. We'll see. I realised something that I didn't mention whilst I'm talking about cross-stitch. One thing I didn't mention in my June video is that my fiance, whilst he was visiting here for the wedding but also to spend time here, is that he actually started working on a cross stitch, one of the ones that I wanted to get done for Christmas, because he wants a hobby that he can do whilst he's just sort of sitting there. Every hobby he has is like woodworking, or he's got to be like stood at a bench and things like that. So he's started a cross stitch and he did all of this, and it looks so cute. He's done such a good job. So this is actually something from June that he did it. I might get him some more cross stitch kits because it was good fun. So that's also something that I don't think I'm going to be able to work on this month as well, but that's something that's coming up in regards to cross stitch kits, because I'm probably going to finish that for him, and that's going to be a Christmas gift. Let's go through what is remaining this month. Things that I really want to do, but I just don't know if I can. So firstly, things that I definitely know that come to mind is my Etsy shop. I sell some things that I make on my Etsy shop, and I have been wanting to put my plushies up for such a long time, but I've been holding off because I'm very specific about the UKCA and CE testing. Legally you should be anyway. That is something that I want to have done for a lot of my plushies, and I want to get some plushies up on my shop this month. That was something that I was very strict about for this month. Whether that will happen or not because of outside events and finding a new house, I'm not really sure. So that's something I really want to do. I will record bits if I get to it, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I just want to get at least maybe 2 different plushies done this month so I can get something up on my shop, which would be really nice to have. Also this month, I really want to get this finished. I really want to wear it for the Summer Wool Festival, because we are going again this year. This is how far my rainy day tee is. This is a pattern by Sari Nordlund, and it is just, oh, it's just gorgeous. Look at those cables down the raglan. It's not super close to being finished, but I am quite far through it. So the neck is almost done. I just need to knit, I think possibly like another centimetre, and I have to like fold it down so it's like a folded collar, and then I'll probably do the sleeves, and then I will do the body. I may end up doing what I do every year, which I think is a very funny tradition now at this point, not on purpose. I really don't mean to. I want things finished. If I leave the body till last, I can always put the stitches on hold like I have here with a thread and just wear it, and people don't need to know that it's not finished. I've done it the last 2 years. So I'm knitting this in Drops Bell in the colour Purl. That's where that came from. That's something I really do want to get finished this month, because it would be nice to have it. I want to wear it. I want to get at least one t-shirt finished this month. Talking about Summer Wool Festival, I have plans to buy yarn from one specific vendor. There's also another one going, which I did used to support on Etsy, and then funding changed, so I couldn't really buy their clubs anymore, so I kind of maybe want to buy something from them. That's just to support them specifically. I have plans to make a sweater as a wedding cast on when I get married. I'm going to be using Blue Fern yarns for that, so I'm going to be tracking her down and getting some yarn from there. So there will be yarn acquisitions this month, but I think that might be the only one. I hope. Well, maybe some more for the Wool Festival, but I've been halving my amount each year so far, so I'm expecting it to be another scenario like that. As we just talked about a t-shirt, let's talk about another t-shirt. Again, I wanted to finish this month. I'm not going to be able to. There's no way. My Tolsta Tee 4-ply is patterned by Rebecca Clow. Yeah. I really want this finished. I want to wear it so bad. This is being knit in this yarn here, in the Bamboo Soft, in this really lovely cherry red colour, and I don't see me finishing it, to be honest, because it's such a small needle. I think it's 3mm needles. We can be hopeful and positive about it. I want to have progress on this though. I would like to maybe I can get a sleeve done this month. I don't know. Maybe that's like a nice little goal to start towards. At least like cast on the sleeve, like pick up the stitches and start the sleeve. That would be really nice. It'd be really nice if I could start both sleeves, because then the more difficult part is done, where I just sit down and just do the pickups for both sleeves and then put them back on hold again. That would be lovely if I could do that. Just put stitch markers so I know where I am. That'd be really nice. So I want to make progress on that. But one thing I don't think I'm going to get any progress on this month is this. This is my Porcelain sweater. It's patterned by Lene, Holme, Samsøe. The next part is the colour work, and I need to sit down and specifically work out what colour work I want where, because I'm using 4 different pink shades, which I'm really excited about. But I think this is going to end up being more of like an August, September project maybe, which is a shame because I cast this on the 17th of May on Norway's Constitutional Day, and I had planned to wear it sort of once it started to get a bit cooler, but I'm now going to be knitting it once it starts to get a bit cooler, so I don't think I'm going to get any work done on that, looking at the realistic part of how this month's going to go. But that's something I would like to get progress on, even if it's just to work out the colours of where they're going, what I'm doing. The last thing that I'd like to get progress on is this here. This is the Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West. I've made one of these before for the same person as a gift for their birthday again, just in a different colour. Same yarn as well. This is how far I am into the shawl. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that. I'm using this yarn here, vintage cotton. That's as far as I've got. Would like to get a bit of progress done on this. Reason why I think I might is because it's such an easy thing to do, and it's kind of mindless, honestly. I can just knit on this, especially when it gets really hot like it has been in the UK. It's been like 30 plus degrees. I think I will have a place, like this has its place to be knit on in those days. I think I may end up getting a little bit of progress, even if it's just one repeat. This doesn't have to be finished until October, the start of October, for someone's birthday, but it would be nice to get it done. This month might have to be a pass, and possibly next month might have to be a pass in regards to house hunting. So there was a bunch of other things I wanted to do. Just like last month, I wanted to start the Lusk tee, which is a pattern again by Crowther. I wanted to start the Farnham tee by the Knit Purl Girl. I wanted to start my picnic vest, which I actually think I've mentioned every month. It's patterned by Hannako, and I think actually this is going to go into hibernation now. This goal, this plan is going into hibernation now until next year. I don't see me being able to have time to do it, so that is now going to be a spring summer plan for next year. It's going to be off my list until I can pick it up, and I think it's a spring summer knit. I don't think it's an autumn winter knit at all. I also want to make a crochet sunflower bag, like a granny square sunflower bag. That might still happen, I'm not sure. I wanted to start my Rigmor blouse. That was also last month's plan. I don't know if I'm going to get that far, but I would like to do that this year. And the Montpellier, which is like a vest top, that is by, I've got NovemberKnits in my head. One more really big thing that's really important to me this month is I want to get all of my yarn out, and I think having to move house has prompted this to be a bit sooner than I wanted to, so there's a bit of stress attached to it now. But I really don't want to move all of the yarn that I have right now again. I will be destashing a lot of my yarn, and we'll be going through it, and we'll be having a big destash video coming up in the near future. It's going to be a big video. I've been talking about it for a while. I've been working on it in the background behind the scenes, actually, to get everything out in one go. I was trying to avoid until later, but I think we're just gonna have to do it. So I'm gonna go through all of my yarn. I've already counted up what I have, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, that's another thing I really want to do this month. That's my plans. That's for this month in July. I really hope that you'll want to watch and go through this next month with me. Let's actually get started with this month of project vlogs and see how much of these we can get done. So I'm just editing my July video, and there are multiple times throughout where the audio went quite squiffy. I have tried to do the best I can to fix this. I just wanted to apologise in advance about that, and I am working on ways to improve the sound as soon as I am able to, so please bear with me, hopefully going into the near future. But yes, the audio does go very squiffy of different ways throughout this video, and I've tried my best to fix it. Hello, oh gosh, that was very deep. So would you like to see the progress that I made this morning with my little bee? So I just have to sew the wings on, but otherwise everything's done. And I think this is maybe one of the best bees I've made, I think, to date. I'm going to take a break though, because on Sundays we always go and see with my grandparents, now my nan. Yeah, I'm going to finish this guy when I get back home after. So it means I can take a break, because I think sometimes if I get too zoned in projects, sometimes I can get too... I just find sometimes mistakes can start happening, and I just want to make sure I give myself the adequate breaks that I need to make sure that that doesn't happen. So, but he's still going to be ready way ahead of schedule to go and be sent out with the rest of the things I usually send with when I do my orders on Etsy. So yeah, he's a cutie. That's it, I'm gonna do that. Oh my gosh, I actually have some other things to fill you in on before I leave. Bear with, let me go grab them. I was working on a certain plushie last night, and I finished making the mouse. In regards to knitting it, at least, when I get back later, I would like to all the pieces washed so that they're ready then to sew and stuff. I kind of want to do that this morning, but it's okay. I'm still quite okay on schedule. It's currently the 6th today, so I think that's okay. I'm not going to take that bee with me to my grandparents, so I was thinking maybe I could take the pink and maybe start the clothes, maybe. But yeah, I have all the pieces. So I have 2 legs, head, 2 arms, 2 ears, I have her tail, oh gosh, I'm dropping everything, and I have her body, which looks like this. Lots to sew, but firstly I want to get everything washed. Yeah, but all the pieces are done. That's a lot of pieces. I'm pretty sure I started this time last week, so that's really good. So yeah, as for today, it's been quite a productive day so far. But as for this mouse, this yarn is finished with. But what I'll do is I'll weigh everything at the end. I was just thinking about rounding up everything I need to take with me if I wanted to start these, and I think the dress, like, it's not difficult, but you have to read the pattern quite a bit. I think I'm gonna because you start off with the leaf lace pattern at the bottom. I think I'm gonna leave that one till later, which I wasn't going to do. I wanted to get the pinafore done first, because that's the biggest thing. But what I will do is I will do her French knickers, then I will do the pinafore, because I would quite like to, even though this doesn't go with the outfit, I'd quite like to do a t-shirt under the pinafore. I just think that might look quite nice. I think that's probably because that's how I would wear it. So I'm just trying to work out what needles I need, and I need 3mm, which I have my DPNs in here, so that's fine. And then change to 3.5, so I have some 3.5s here. Then you have to change to the round eventually as well, but my 3.5 short zing needles are currently in my rainy day tee, which is quite ironic because for the first time in 2 weeks we're having like proper rain today, completely unrelated. Silverstone's on today, this Sunday as well, so I'm gonna be interested to see how that race goes. We've had full-blown thunder and lightning this morning. Kind of accurate that it's in my rainy day tee. Maybe it's a sign, I should pick it up. So hopefully I can just get started with 3mm, and then I'll be fine to move on to my 3.5 and then go from there. Hello, we are finally back. I would like to finish off this little guy. I don't know if I said, but I did the ladder stitch earlier, so it's just his wings. Whilst I don't know, I might watch a YouTube video. We have F1 to catch up on. It was Silverstone today, as I said earlier. I have unfortunately been spoiled by Instagram on one of the things. Honestly, I just need to wait for my partner to be finished with his day so that we can sit down and watch it together on Discord. So I think in the meantime I just thought I could get this bee done, so he is ready to go out for tomorrow. Then I think I'm gonna start on Dorothy the mouse's clothes, although it's not gonna be the clothes that Dorothy is advertised with. It's actually gonna be, I think it's going to be a mixture of things. I might even be thinking against doing the shoes I was thinking of doing and doing something different. We're just going to see. For now though, I am going to crack on with sewing these wings on to this bee. Hello, just want to do a quick check-in. Last night I actually finished and I actually weaved in the ends as well. This is just here so I can find where the buttonhole is. Look at this little shoe! Isn't that cute? And it wasn't actually difficult to do, it was just a bit fiddly. The other one is looking much better already, but I think it's really cute. I am concerned the buttons I have are not going to be small enough, so I might have to take a trip and see if I can find some buttons as like a last minute effort. This is how far I am. That was my pen. This is how far I am with the next shoe. Yeah, so far I'm at a point where I've just moved on to the section where the right shoe becomes different to the left shoe. I've left it there for now. I need to cut this brown yarn. I'll do that now. Cut it there. So that's how much brown that I had left over. It's kind of see-through actually. Right now, I feel like I am playing a game of yarn chicken though, because you have this. This is all the pink I have when it comes to the little ball. I have this left over, but the problem is because they're from different things, they're different dye lots, so I can't really put it with it. I can do it if need be, but, and also this is a 10-gram ball and there was a knot in it, which I get that there is an amount that they're legally allowed to do. It's totally fine, but like really it's a 10-gram ball and there's a knot. That's a bit annoying. So I've now just got this random section where I'm gonna have to weave in added yarn, but yeah, this is the last thing I have to knit, so that's pretty cool. And then other things for today that I want to do is I need to go through a few of the things I want to edit a bit. I have some admin stuff to do for a old video that I have on a different channel. I need to clean a bit, and I also think I would quite like to pack a few things. Not sure where we're going yet, but we have to leave this house, so yeah. I just thought that could make me feel a bit more at ease if I start packing, so that's my plans. And if I can finish this shoe off, that means that I have finished knitting everything. Let's see how much we can get done today. Hi, hello, just popping in here. I want to do a little update. It's kind of mid-month, it's the 19th, so we're kind of there. I just wanted to do an update on some things that I have done so far. I finished the mouse and her clothes. She looked really cute. She looked like this. I took her to where she was meant to go because she was a gift for my friend's little girl's second birthday, and oh my goodness, she loved her. She opened the gift and she gave her the biggest squeeze, said thank you, and then slept with it all night. Yeah, very sweet. Also, I managed to make a little swatch. This was at the time where I was thinking I was going to record this little update. I had just applied for a test knit, which I now know that I wasn't chosen, and that's fine, that's okay, that's why we apply. I'm a little bit gutted, but also I'm kind of thankful because I already have a lot of plans for this year already. But I now know with the gauge that they specified in the Google doc sheet, like application sheet, that my gauge will be okay for the pattern when it comes out, so I'm really excited about that. I did this gauge swatch using one of the yarns I got from the Ravelry outlet, the Vandra. I'm really excited for that pattern to come out eventually. Also, and finally, this month I managed to re-pick up my rainy day tee. Woohoo! Go us! Here is what she is looking like. Oh my gosh, look at that folded collar. I finished off the collar. For the longest time it was just this really big tube. I started on the next sleeve. I'm really happy with like this corner pickup, but I'm gonna have to do some ends, weaving in magic on that corner because I still managed to get holes. That's okay. Yeah. This is how far I got. I haven't quite yet dipped into the next skein. This is still the skein that I used for the neckline. I did weigh the yarn as well before I started the sleeve, just because I wanted to know how much the neckline actually took, because it was a brand new skein when I started, and I had 19 grams left in the skein, so we could say that the neckline itself, this folded neckband, took 31 grams of yarn, which is kind of wild actually. My goal was to wear this at some wool festival this year. I don't think that's happening, Hans. I just don't see it happening. I also started my cross stitch. Let me go grab that actually, because I can do that check-in as well without losing the needle. This is how far I have got. A lot of it is tucked underneath here. I was just finishing off this little stem here and doing the bottom of the glass, and then I think it's going to be possibly top stitching these ones, and then I'll do like all the sparkles and the pew 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 after. But yeah, we're making progress on this as well. So yeah, that's my little mid-month-ish check-in. Hi, just want to do a bit of a check-in. Please excuse me, I have been very sick the last few days and I still have a migraine now, so I wanted to do a little showy show because I didn't do anything on this yesterday because I just had to sleep all day, but she's getting there. And I actually used up the whole skein. This would have been Thursday, but yeah, I've just been not been able to do an update. That's another skein completely gone. And I only have one left now. This one here, I've just tried it on. And like, it's a good lace. I'm pretty sure the ribbing is 5 centimeters. So I don't know whether to just go for the ribbon and it be cropped. Bearing in mind as well, what I've already done is longer than the pattern suggests to do. Obviously the pattern says this length or preferred length, and I think I've gone more for the preferred length, but it looks really good. It's a bit tight, so I don't really know what's happened there. It also pulls here, so the neckline isn't rounded, it's more like that, which is a bit frustrating, but it still looks really nice. So that's how far I am. I think I probably am at the ribbing, to be honest, because if I think about it logically, the amount that this will give me won't be enough for the length that I had on my anchor tee. I think I might just go for the ribbing, and if it's not right then I can always just rip it out, do a few more rows and then do the ribbon. That's what I'm going to do. Also, I had some bits delivered, so I thought we could go through that really quickly as well, because that's kind of what I was envisioning when I was doing these monthly updatey things, is that I could do it in chunks and not all in one go. I got a few things that are business related, some more plastic bags, just because that's what I store my yarn in when they're on display. They're like the safest thing that I can think of while still being able to see my yarn. Also, I got finally some dye. I'm gonna give this one a go. This is going to be for my Somme cardigan, so hopefully that goes well. I'd like to do that soon and we'll see how that goes. Also business related, I got some more organza bags and some more boxes, because I ran out of boxes and I haven't ordered to send out, but I had nothing to put it in, so because I definitely thought I had more boxes than that, and I think it's going to be more of a suitable size than what I had before. Also, I had a friend buy something off my throne as well, like so my online wish list. I now have some like little blockers, which I'm really excited about, because I could have really done with these when it came to washing and blocking the bow tie, because the bow tie ended up really frilly because I was using just standard pin, whereas this would have made a lot more of a difference. So no more wonky sweaters or bow ties in this case. That's really cool, that's really kind. Thank you so much, Helen, for getting these. I am going to get my rainy day back fully on the needles and not on try-on cords. I don't think I'm going to get anything done at work, especially since I'm still feeling quite rubbish. I'm going to pack that order up finally, because I can, and then I'm going to get that sent out. I may have something else to show later. I think that'll be an after work thing. Hello, back from work, and I didn't get any further on my t-shirt. I didn't think I did. I didn't think I was going to, so I'm not necessarily surprised. I did, however, get a few parcels, like a few packages whilst I was at work. I did actually get a mini yarn order. However, one thing that I am okay with is getting yarn that is for business related things. So things that would actually go down as a business expense. So in here I have a bunch of little yarns. These are all going to be made into amigurumi that I will be selling on my Etsy. I got 5, although I realise I forgot the green, so I'm feeling a little bit stupid right now. At some point I'm going to have to buy a green, which I might have to buy just on like eBay or something, that I can actually get it shipped to me without like a crazy amount of shipping from Warehouse. But I got these 5. This is Rikurumi Nilly Nilly. This yarn is approved to be used to pass the CE and UKCA. It is EN71-3 tested. It's a good one. I'm quite excited. This is going to replace my Serdar Happy Chenille, because that yarn is not, as of right now, there is no documentation or certification that one is. So I'm going to be switching all of that to that, which I'm actually really excited about, because this is more of like a velvet anyway, and I think it's going to be really pretty. I'm going to be making some duck key rings out of that. And then I also 2
more of the chenille, and now I look at it, I didn't think I did, but I think I did already have a brown, so that's on me. But I would like to make something out of these two for the shop. It's in the colour Rust and Vanilla Fudge, and I'm gonna let you guess what you think. I will be crocheting and testing and all of that stuff, so it is CE and UKCA approved. I didn't say it was the Yarnsmiths, just Yarnsmith Chenille. They have so many colours, it's just really good, so this is my go-to now. But yeah, so that's everything that I got today in the mail. I think that's really exciting. I'm so excited. So annoyed at myself that I forgot to order a green. Yeah, but I want to do some tidying first because I can't work in this environment right now. It's too much, and it's because we're moving house soon as well, but we don't know when. So it's just like pre-packing, and it's a lot. I don't know, I hope it's gonna be okay. Okay, just quickly, I've just attached my new ball yarn to this. I tried it on, kind of went through where it sat. Also, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a few more rows, but actually I've just pulled out one of my favourite t-shirts, and I realised, well, it's fine, I could just wear one of my other ones that I've had for longer that are ready to go, except they're not ready to go because they need to be washed and it's too late. Excuse the creases. This is my crescendo on the top, and although it is a circular yoke, it will have a slightly different fit. But I just compared the length to this t-shirt. Obviously it's on a really short cable right now, but when you actually compare where the underarm sits, it's actually pretty much almost the same length with the ribbing. So I think I am going to stop there. I'm just going to move over to my 3.5. No, I'm not. This is 3.5. My 3mm. And I'm just going to try and crank out some ribbing. I really thought this wasn't going to happen again this year, but the last 2 years I have gone to some wool festival with an unfinished t-shirt on, and I just put the thread through. You know when like you're finishing off a hat and you thread the stitches through? That's basically what I've done every single year. And I said to myself I wasn't going to do it this year, but here we are, and I think that's actually kind of a reality right now. So just because I know I don't have to, but I would like to wear something knitted. It's going to be still too warm for a jumper, even though I think it's going to be raining all day tomorrow, or on and off at least. It's still going to be low 20s Celsius. I'd like to wear a t-shirt, but go me, I didn't think ahead and didn't wash my t-shirts in time, so it's so close. We may as well finish here. That's a tomorrow issue. I'm going to see if I can get some ribbing done now. See how far I get. I'm not going to finish it, but, you know, here's to hoping. Hello, I wanted to give a little update on my rainy day tea because I did something today which involved putting it on hold, wearing it out in public at the Summer Wool Festival. So I put it back on the needles. I'm working on it again. I was about 2.5 centimeters off of finishing it this morning, and I was like, I'm not finishing it. I didn't even weave in all the ends, so I've just worn it with loose ends because, yeah, as I described last night, this is how close I am. Probably, honestly, don't have too much longer to go on the ribbing. I just want to give a little update because this is so almost done. It's definitely a piece that people notice, which is quite nice. It's quite sweet that people made comments about it. A little bit tight under here, but it's not bothersome. I don't think I'm going to have any huge issues with it, especially once it blocks. It might fix itself. That's how far I've got in the ribbon, and I needed, I want to say 5 centimeters. I'm definitely going to hit that tonight, I think, which is really exciting because that actually might mean that we have a nice amount of yarn usage for this month, which would be really nice because the last few months have been not the best. And I really hope this blocks out okay. It wasn't too noticeable whilst I was wearing it, but it is a bit frustrating. Yeah, that's my little update on my rainy day tea. So today is Sunday the 27th, meaning that it was today that we went to the Summer Wool Festival. This is a festival that is held in Ampthill, Bedfordshire, which is really local, which is really exciting because I don't have to make any really big travels to just any other major city. So we love this one. Me and my sister-in-law, we have been attending this one for this is the 3rd year in a row. It's a tradition that we are definitely upkeeping and we are very much enjoying. Although I didn't get what I wanted to from one of the stores, one of the main things I wanted to get today, I did get some other bits. So I thought I would go through those now, since it's the end of the day. I kind of want to put these things away so they're ready to be stored until I am ready to use them. Firstly, the yarn vendor that I was so desperately wanting to go see was Blue Fern Yarns. They had sold out of the base and colour that I specifically wanted, so I will be placing an order with her. I spoke to her and she's lovely, she's so nice. I've ordered from her in the past from Etsy and then her website. I think she's definitely a fantastic yarn dyer. So if you haven't checked out Blue Fern Yarns, she's got quite a big name now, a lot more than from when I started buying from her, but I would really recommend you check her out because she does fantastic colorways and just fantastic job. She's just really good at it, really reasonably priced as well. But she had, which I kind of expected, we were going on the Sunday. It is a 2-day event, so I wasn't necessarily surprised. Yeah, she'd sold out of the one that I wanted, so she's going to dye some up for me, especially which I'll put in an order for with her website. I want to move house first, so the address is exactly what it should be. So there will be a yarn order at some point in the very near future. But yeah, I did end up getting other things that I certainly wasn't planning on getting. Some of them I was, some of them I definitely was not. Let's go through, do I go through yarn first or do I go through other bits first? Maybe I'll do it in order as to how I bought it, because I actually bought all my yarn right at the end. So I don't know if I have business cards for all of these, so I'll do my best to try and link the shops below. First thing I got was from this company here, the Yarn Artist, and I didn't get any yarn, but I did get a pin because I thought it was quite funny. It says, "I cry a lot, I am so productive, it's an art," and I just thought it was quite funny, quite accurate, quite relatable, and I love a good pin. So there were some really nice pins there. I love collecting pins. Problem is, I found that some of the pins were just a little bit pricey for what I felt comfortable paying for. So I love this. It's going to go on my project bag and I can't wait. Really excited about that one. That's the first thing I bought. The next thing I got was certainly not planned, but I walked past it so many times and I loved it, so I got it. I think it was the most expensive, like individually the most expensive thing I got, and it is this project bag. It's so damn cute. It's got so much going on. It's got a label inside, also got a little hook, which I think is really smart. It's clearly got a batting, so it feels like quilt worthy, and it's just like it's gonna stand up on its own. It's got pulls, so you can like fix where you want it. She was explaining that you could have it like this and have it as like a standing bucket if you wanted to. I just think that it is an absolutely beautiful bag and the print is gorgeous. I love it. I think this is going to become a very big favourite. It's from this shop here. It looks like they have a website and Etsy. They're on Instagram. Yeah, they have an email, phone. So very cool. As you were saying, the more you look at it, the more you see new things. There's nothing else more to say. It's just gorgeous. One project bag. I've been doing quite well with my purchases up to this point, and that was fine. There was 2 more individual booths, shops that I was looking for, vendors, I guess is probably the correct word. One of them was the same person that I have bought project bags from every single year so far, or a project bag. I have upped it to 2 this year. Actually, I bought 3 for her because one of them I got as an early birthday present for my sister-in-law because she wanted it but didn't want to commit to buying, so I decided that would be one of her birthday presents this year. And also there was another yarn dyer that I really wanted to see. But we'll go with the bags because it was about bags I went to next. So this is from Bellica Yarns. As I said, I have 2 of her bags already. One from 2023, one from 2024, and now 2 from 2025. So I got 2 more bags from her. I already have one of this type. I was going to get a zip bag, like a small zip bag, because I don't have one of those from her. But I loved this print so much. Little bees, little flowers. The colour of the blue is absolutely gorgeous. Interior, I'm pretty sure It's the same pattern fabric as the other one I have from her, but it's just in a different colour. And it's got drawstrings. These drawstrings feel a bit thicker than the other one as well. And it's just a little drawstring bag. These bags have done so well from my previous ones, and I love them so much. I would have bought more, but I know that it's probably going to be a yearly thing as long as she always goes. I can't recommend her bags enough. She's just fantastic at making them. Also, there was this little guy on the side, one of those little wrist, one of those little wrist bags. It has little poppers. It's really cool. I want to say, I don't see why you couldn't use this inside out. Like you could switch it. I think that's the idea. You can use it both ways. Obviously, you just wouldn't have the tag. But it's got this gorgeous autumnal, like forest, pumpkin, mushrooms fabric on the inside, which I really liked as well. And then just an absolutely gorgeous fabric on the outside, which I also just thought it's just so pretty. I feel accomplished. There was a little fox one. I am thinking about it a lot, but I feel like I would have regret leaving this one more than I am regretting with that one. I'll buy more from her in the future. It's a regular thing, it's fine. And then on to yarns. I was specifically looking for, in the same marquee as Bellica Yarns, a dye called Moonlight Fibre. Before I got there, we saw this dyer. It's Bluebell Yarns. I believe they were definitely there last year. They were definitely there one of the years. I don't know if they were there both years, but also a really lovely person, but also really creative, really talented dyer. I saw some 4-ply of her blue-faced Leicester mini skeins, and they looked they just look beautiful. I will try and put a picture, because I know I took a picture of what they look like, and I just thought, oh, that's gorgeous. And I really want to make a colourwork sweater that has just like standard solid, doesn't have to be hand dyed yarn as the main colour, and then the contrast to be like hand dyed. That's what I want to do. And I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. And I asked if she had any in a 100-gram skein, because I wasn't sure, because I don't have necessarily a pattern in mind per se. I do, but I'm unsure of the gauge, but I don't think it was a 4-ply gauge. But I asked if she had any of like the 100-gram skeins, because it would have worked out so much cheaper getting that compared to the 4 mini skeins that were on the side that she had left. And she said that she might not have had any left, / she might not have dyed that one up specifically for the show. But she said, but I do have that same base in a DK in the same colour, and oh boy, it is something else. It's just gorgeous. So it's in the festival time colour, and I am really excited about this. Not many yarns, if I'm honest, had me actually stop and go, oh, I can't leave that. Yeah, there was a few other dyers I wanted to see, just as like they were there, but I didn't end up getting anything from the others. But really lovely, beautiful DK yarn, and I'm hoping that I will be able to use this for a colourwork sweater. And to be fair, I will have more luck finding a DK colourwork pattern, I think personally, than a 4-ply that will use this yarn skein to its just full maximum potential, and it's just going to look like, it's just going to be beautiful. It's going to be lovely. I got one of those. Finally, we got round to getting to Moonlight Fibre. The dyer's name is Jo. I bought a few of her yarns while she was on Etsy. Before she moved to her website. I don't believe I've purchased anything since she's got a website. She's another one that I also did a few of her mystery sort of pre-orders. So yeah, but we ended up finding Moonlight Fibre, and this is another one that I think is just wonderful, just wonderful. Her dyeing is fantastic. The colours that she chooses is really good. I'm not usually a big pinks person, but apparently today I was. I'm not really sure what happened. They were just absolutely gorgeous. Admittedly, she had a lot of really bright colours, like neon, really statement worthy. And there was a beautiful mohair hank. I don't think I took a picture of it. Yeah, I just have a really hard time at the moment getting anything that doesn't have a plan. So I was stood there for ages. I felt so bad. She was talking to people anyway, like other customers, but I just felt so bad that it took me so long to decide. I was just holding this mini set, like, oh, but what can I make from it? I didn't want to get it without a plan. Come to the conclusion that I can use these for the colour palette sock pattern, which is gonna be nice. I think I'm also gonna use one of these pinks as the pink for a future colourwork sweater that requires a single pink in it as well. But yeah, I got this mini set. So yeah, 5 different shades of pink. These are the rose fade. It's merino sock weight, 100 grams in total because there's 5 20-gram mini skein. They are 75% superwash merino and 50% nylon, so true sock yarn. And then in the sale basket, I just kept seeing this, and I was waiting for someone that was in the sale basket to move, and very politely they saw that I wanted to get to it, so I just bought these and then started looking through the sale basket. So I actually did like 2 separate things. That's irrelevant. But I got this stinking gorgeous. This was £12. To be honest, it was just the colours. I didn't even really read it properly, but it is the April Bright and Bold Club. So she clearly had a spare. I think that's quite a common thing to do, is to dye up a spare skein for the monthly clubs for yarn dyers to do, just in case something goes wrong with a parcel. Or so she had this. It's DK, 100 grams. It is 80% merino, and she turned around, she was like, oh, there's cashmere in this, by the way. So it's a lovely part cashmere one. I was like, wait, what? I didn't even read it. So I ended up bagging an 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, DK sock yarn, £12. I'm excited about this one, so I'm really happy. But yeah, that's everything I bought at the Summer Festival. I am still quite gutted I didn't get to buy the yarn that I really set out to buy today, but I don't plan on casting that on until my wedding day, so I have a bit of time for that. So I'll just order that once I have moved house and the address is sorted and we're settled a bit. Yeah, not too bad of a haul. I don't feel too bad about it. What's that, 300 grams I'm adding to my stash, which I'm fine with, to be honest. Socks and a colourwork sweater, and then no plan right now, but it will be in a colourwork sweater because this is just so pretty. That's my little haul. But bags, I did kind of go a bit overboard. Yeah, there's my bags. I did end up wearing my rainy day tee, but as you can see from the fact that, you know, the needles are back in, it yet again wasn't finished, so it got its first out in today, completely unfinished, but I had like 2.5 centimeters to go. It is very close. Oh, and also my pin. If you haven't gone to that festival, I really recommend it if you've got the ability to travel to it. There is quite good travel links, I believe, to get there. Obviously it's not as quite a big as a city as London, for example, but it is definitely worth a visit. It's a very inclusive show. They added an extra marquee this year, which they haven't done for the last 2 years, so clearly the show is getting bigger. I just love it. This is going to be a regular occurrence, a regular event thing that me and my sister-in-law do. I'm so happy with what I got today. If you did actually end up going, because I know some people that are local obviously do, I don't know how local my YouTube is right now. If you did end up going, let me know, what vendors did you visit? What did you end up buying? Are you happy with your day? And my niece was absolutely fantastic. She was so good. And we were as well. I wore my Rainy Day by Sari Nordlund. My sister-in-law wore her, is it the Piazza tee? Also by Sari Nordlund. I want to say it's quite a new-ish pattern. And then also my niece had been put in her little cardigan that I made her for her birthday, so the Anna summer cardigan. So we just rocked up with our knitwear. I also had like this jumper tied around my waist as well, because I weren't sure. It was very, very overcast, risk of rain, and I didn't really want to bring a coat. So we just rocked up in our full knitwear, as you do to a wool festival. But no, it's a lovely experience, lovely vibe, lovely festival. That's everything I got from the wool festival today.
Hello, it is, as of today, the 1st of August, so happy August, but that means I need to go through my previous month of July with all of my goals, my plans that I set at the start of the month, and see where we got to, what we achieved, all of that good stuff, and just a little progress update. And of course, yarn totals. I did have to write an extra list because I realised the list that I wrote down originally was the long original list that I said I wanted to do. Because we had the news that we had to find a new house, I had scrapped a lot of the plans. I still mentioned them at the start, so I am actually just going to quickly whiz through all of that because I've not done any of it. So I wanted to start the Lusk Tee by Crowther, Farnham Tee by Knit Purl Girl, Picnic Vest by Hannah Co, the Crochet Sunflower Granny Square Bag, which I think is Crochet 365. I might have to check that one. Rigmor Tee by PetiteKnit, and the Montpellier top by, I believe, NovemberKnits. I've not gone through a single one of those. That was very much at the end of my goals where I said I wanted to do this, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance. That's how that went. So let's go through, as I usually do, with what I didn't manage to do. So rather than the order that I said them in before, I will go through the order that is I didn't do these, worked on this, and then I finished this, because then when we do the finished we can work out the yarn usage and just make sure it's all cohesive so the yarns go at the end. So let's start off with things that aren't knitting related. That is going to be the cross stitch that my fiance started in June. I have not worked on that at all, but what I have done in regards to cross stitch is finish one, but I will go through that in a minute. Also, what I wanted to do this month, we were going to the Summer Wool Festival. This is held in Bedfordshire. It's incredibly close to where I live, and I'm very lucky and grateful that we have one so close, which is a little bit more accessible for myself. I wanted to buy some yarn there, which I did, but the yarn that I really wanted to buy, she had sold out, which is fair. We went on the Sunday. I believe it's a 2-day event. Yeah, there's not much more I can do about that. But I've ordered from this person many a times before. I think her yarns are fantastically dyed. She chooses fantastic bases. It's blue fern yarns, and I wanted to get some more of her cozy base to match the yarn that I bought last year, because I plan on making a sweater jumper out of that yarn. I haven't ordered that yet, just because there's quite a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the house. But once I have my new address, I will place that order whenever that may be. Yeah, I didn't get that yarn. I did buy some yarn, but not the yarn that I originally went for. So that was a bit sad, but certainly not her fault. You know, amazing. It's absolutely amazing that she sold out on that. And I said to her, I said that's awesome. You know, I'm a bit gutted, but that's awesome that you sold out. So I will order from her directly once I have moved, whenever that may be. Also, I wanted to strictly get on top of my UKCA plushie testing so I could put some plushies up for sale. I realised that, I don't know why I said this, because I don't want to have any new stock going up on the website before so I don't really know why. I know why, it's because it's been on the list for so long, but that will now be a new house thing and not in this house. However, even though I didn't get around to doing the testing and uploading of, I think I said 2 plushies in my goals, I have actually, I mean, I didn't need to necessarily buy more yarn. There's a pattern I want to make because it's really quite popular at the moment, and it requires 2 skeins, 2 different colours of yarn. And also I want to get my key rings up because I just think they're really fun, just little guys, aren't they? Just really cute. So I did get some yarn for that. I've done a whole bunch of certificate fetching, a whole bunch of like risk assessment work. The only thing I now need to do is the physical testing of said items, so make them and test them. It's not a complete fail, but it's not exactly what I set out to do, but I'm okay with that because it would have been really silly for me to do this big, wow, I got plushies in my store now, and I'm then moving house. It's just a lot of stress. So I'm okay with that I didn't get that far. Progress stuff then. Let's go backwards from how I talked about it, I believe. So I did manage to get some progress done on this shawl. So she already knows that she's getting it now, so I can actually say that this is for my mum. Because my mum started watching my videos and she's going to end up seeing it anyway, and she knows exactly what this pattern is, so she'll know it's for her anyhow. So I just let her know, I said, hey, so you're going to see a project on there that is for you, and she got really excited, so that's nice. But yes, I got a whole extra repeat done this month. That's how far I've got now on this shawl. It is the Boneyard shawl by Stephen West. It is a free pattern. You can find it on Ravelry. I'm unsure if you can find it elsewhere, but you can find it on Ravelry. And I took it to the Small Festival with me. I started knitting on it, and then I was like, without reading the pattern, thinking, you know, it's easy, forgetting to do increases, and then I had to take it all back anyway. So it's a really simple pattern. It's easy to read the knitting as well, so you don't necessarily have to count so much. My goal is to maybe, I don't know how many weeks there are until my mum's birthday, but I wonder if I get a section done a week, that might allow me to get on target to have it done by then, but obviously I want to get it done before then, so I want to make sure it's done. So this might be my work project, because it is easy. It's just that I hadn't done the pattern for a while, so I'd completely forgotten to do some of the increases. That might become my new work project, / it's too hot to use wool. So as usual, if a project is not finished, I'm not including the yarn usage into the totals, just because otherwise it's too complicated for me, for my little brain. It's too complicated. Next is this. Is my Tolsta 4-ply pattern by Clow from the Crowther. This looks the same because it pretty much is. Don't know where I was at actually last time, but I ran out of yarn, and then I have recently added a new ball, and I've not even done a whole extra round on this yet. Progress, yes. But not much, like what? Not like maybe half a round, quarter of a round even? Yeah, quarter of a round. But I think I said in my plans that I wanted to get a sleeve done or both pickups done, which I've not got to. Is still a whip, which means that this is definitely over a year old now. I just need to get around to doing it, don't I? I have plans to work on my projects that are from my Finish It for February video, like anything left over / the yarn that I ripped out. I have some things in the pipeline coming up that may include this, but I still also don't really know when that is going to be, so that I really hope it doesn't wait until next February. That would be quite horrific, wouldn't it? So I think I've got this one, I've got 2 more big cakes, and then I'm working with the yarn that I unwound in the Finish It February. It is this yarn here. So that's where I got with that. Next is actually my porcelain sweater. So I got no further when it comes to my actual sweater, but I did, after many swatching attempts, work out exactly where I want the colours. So what order I want them, how I want them to look, and yeah, I'm getting excited. I did finally do what I wanted to do in regards to working out where the colours are going, because now I've done this, I can just work on it. It's sorted. This is very much going to be an August project, and I'm really excited about it. So it's my main project for the next month. As always, I will talk about it more when I do my August plans. And I think that swatching all of that took me about half a week. That's my porcelain, that's where we're at. And then I believe we're on to finished projects. Let's start off with this one, because this won't really be included in the yarn usage because it's not yarn, it's embroidery thread. I did in fact finish my cross stitch gift that's going to my cousin who got married in June, and I'm super happy with it. I think it's really sweet. I hope they love it. This will be going to them possibly this weekend or next weekend. I decided to not do all of the celebratory like sparkle threads, and there's supposed to be like these little almost like fireworks in the middle. Decided to not do as well. One, because I was actually worried that I was gonna run out of that thread, and because it's Trimmit's threads, they're not easy to match to other threads, as I've learnt in my experience, but that left me room to put their names and also the date down here. I think it's really sweet. I'm really happy with it. So no yarn usage on this, but it was a very important thing for me to do, so that's definitely off my list. Next on my list are these yarns here, which were for the mouse. I did complete this mouse for my friend's little girl. I will put a picture of what she looked like. I finished it 2 days before, and then I did the day before I was doing like the finishing touches, and then the day of I was taking photos. But I did finish her, and she looked really cute, and it used up a lot more yarn than I was anticipating, probably also because I did more clothes than is basically in the pattern, but I took more clothes from other pages to make a more full outfit. But these are all the yarns that I have left when it comes to everything that I made. I used this one, the Stonewash. This is in the colour Crystal Quartz 814. I had 2 balls of this, and I ended up using 77 grams in total, which has just left me with this little amount, which I will use at some point. And then as for her clothes, I've already put the labels away. I realised that was silly of me, wasn't it? I'm going to go from smallest amount upwards. So this is the Katona, was the colour chocolate, 507, and this was a 10 gram skein. It used 7, there's only about 3-ish here. Katona in the old lace colour. This is colour 130, and as you can tell, I really don't have much in here. This used 42 grams of this. I also realised I already had one of these for another knitted animal friend that I had plans for with basically the same t-shirt. I can put that towards that. And then finally, the pink. This is all the pink that I have left. I had originally 50 gram skein, which is what this is. This is the 50 gram label, and a 10 gram skein of this pink. This is the colour Old Rose 408. This is all I have left. I used whole of the 10 gram mini skein of the Katona and 42 grams of the 50 gram, which is a lot. Note to self, you can't get the shoes that I decided to do plus that pinafore dress out of just a 50 gram skein. So I'm glad I got the 10 gram because I would have gone over. That means that in total I used 178 grams on this mouse and the clothes, which I'm quite happy with, to be honest. And it was a really well received gift. Oh my gosh, she absolutely loved it. It was so sweet. So 100% worth it. I will 100% be doing it again, obviously. That's an amazing amount of yarn used for such a small little knit. And then finally, which I was going to wear today, but it really needs a wash. I was meant to do it yesterday, and I said I was going to do it yesterday, but I got completely sidetracked with sorting out my yarn, which was also on the list to do. I finished it. I finished my rainy day tee. This is a pattern by Sari Nordlund, and it's a really, really lovely pattern. I got a lot of compliments from people at the Summer Wool Festival about the raglan, the cable. It was so sweet. I'm really happy with it. I did modify it a little bit. Did the sleeves ever so slightly longer, and also I did the body longer than it says in the pattern as well, and I still got a very cropped result. I'm pretty sure I also made the raglan a little bit longer, and I'm very glad I did, because even now it's like just bearable. Like, it's not complete sensory overload in my armpits, like with how tight the sleeve is under the armpit from my shoulder to the armpit. I love it. Since it's finished, we can indeed add the yarn usage. So I used Drop Spell. This was in the colour Purl. I don't have the colour code on my sheet though, so I'll have to pop the colour code on the screen. I ended up having 14 grams left of this yarn from the whole amount that I bought. I bought 8 skeins originally, which meant that I used 386 grams on this t-shirt of the Drop Spell, which is really cool. It's really exciting. I'm happy. I'm so happy that I finished at least one t-shirt this summer, because it was looking debatable for a little bit. So as I said, it still needs to block, so I'm really hoping these little parts where I did straight knitting are going to block out a bit. I have noticed, because I have worn it a couple of times, that the neck likes to fold a little bit like that. I think depending on what material you make this in, which is a t-shirt, so to me Drop Spell made sense, like a cotton, linen, viscose. The collar maybe in that material doesn't have as much structure, possibly, at least like this way. It has a lot of structure going outways, but maybe not that way. But also when I wear it, I notice that the collar stretches quite a lot, and I get almost, for a round neck t-shirt, I get almost a bit like boat like when you wear it. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but again, I'm hoping blocking is going to fix a lot of these issues. I don't know if it will, but here's to hoping. It's finished. That's mega exciting. I'm really excited. I'm really happy about that. That's all my projects, everything I did. So the next thing to go through is going to be yarn totals. For this month, I used, with the mouse and the t-shirt, I used 564 grams of yarn, which is really cool. That's nice. That's certainly an okay number for sure. Much better than last month. We did, because we went to Small Festival, we bought some yarn, and also I made a yarn order that was more of a business yarn order, but I'm still going to include it anyway. I'm still unsure exactly how I'm going to do the yarn totals when it comes to separating out like amigurumi or business yarn to personal stash yarn. I'm still not 100% sure, but either way, I'm just going to add it all for now, just for the sake of ease. But I got order from Wool Warehouse that ended up being 325 grams of yarn, and then I ended up buying, as you would have seen as well at the Summer Festival, a set of mini skeins, which then totaled up to be 100 grams because there was 5 of them, another 100 gram hank from Moonlight Fibre, and then another 100-gram hank from Bluebell Yarns. So I also bought 300 grams worth of yarn at the Summer Wool Festival, which is what I was planning on buying for sure with the blue fern yarns. Obviously at some point there is going to be that order coming in the next few months once I have bought it. So in total, the yarn in this month was 625. So we were very close to breaking even this month. Very close. But it's a much more well-rounded month for totals, we'll say that. So yeah, that is the totals for this month. So, and now for the scary one, because the numbers are so high, but this is how the totals are looking so far this year. We're on the other side now of 2025. Very scary. As I say, I am moving house soon. I don't plan on letting it affect my upload schedule or my shop too much. I'm gonna try my best to work through it. Next month is gonna be really cool. I'm excited. I've got some jumpers that I'm bringing back out and other little plans that we've got going on, but there's probably gonna be a few passovers that I didn't get to this month that will roll on to next month. Yeah, that's our month of July. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of this month in the comments. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.